Hey, Felicia,
Yeah,
I made a toy.
I know.
It's that voice.idiots.fm. You have it open?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to do like a 5-second countdown, and then we're
Okay.
going to hit the button together.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
No.
On go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
That's fun, actually.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
This week, you're going to do your impression as a cowboy.
Oh, mine says drunk.
Two idiots talking over stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hold on. I'll explain.
Okay.
Talking over. Talking over. Talking over.
Ooh, what's up, you fucking idiots? I'm sorry. I fucked up my own bit.
Yeah, he did.
So the idea is we hit it at the same time,
Uh-huh.
and then you pick either yours or mine. So you can either do the impression as a drunk, which is what you spun, and as a cowboy, which is what I spun.
Oh, I want to do it as a cowboy.
Okay. So you have to lock it in now before you know what the impression is. All right.
Cowboy.
All right.
Locked
So we're
in.
going cowboy. Hi,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hi,
Welcome.
everybody.
We did a little different thing, and I fucked it up right off the bat. But
Yeah, Jesse's
that's
kind of
okay.
an idiot. Hey, but aren't we all, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of Jesse.
Speaking of Jesse and idiots, who am I? I'm at Al by Night on Twitter for now. I threw more shade at Elon Musk, so we'll see how long that lasts.
Oh, fun.
And who the fuck are you?
I'm at Felicia3 on Twitter and Instagram. My name, my human real life name is Felicia. And together we're two idiots talking over stuff.
Here
We have a website. It's www.idiots.fm.
Mm-hmm.
And on that website you'll find our bios, but also links to all our socials, including our Discord.
Hell
And
yeah.
that's where you can go and meet fellow idiots and give us suggestions. I was gonna say suggestions and suggestos to like be cute, and then I just couldn't say the word.
Why don't you
You
post
can give
your
us
pets in there too?
You can post your pets in there, and you can, I don't know, do
Find
whatever
us
the
at
fuck you
Cheeto
would
Spot
do on a
everywhere
Discord.
else. Oh, you're still on the Discord.
Well, I was just trying to round it out.
We're a little rusty.
Yeah, it's been a while. We did skip last week for the holiday.
Yeah, which made my OCD brain hurt. I almost did solo shows for both of them. But I didn't.
I knew that you felt pressured to do that, but like the thing is, right now we have maybe 2 organic listeners. Everyone else is our friends.
Yeah.
So I figured they'd understand if we had to, take a week off.
Yeah, but I got that workahol coursing through me.
Yeah, well, I could not do it. I was a busy boy.
Well, I kept pushing it too because I kept having shitty brain days. Otherwise, we
Yes.
would have recorded. It was actually my fault, not yours.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll take blame for it.
Hell yeah.
Rate us on podchaser.com if you want to, or Apple Podcasts if you're feeling real nice.
My rating's going to be 2 stars because they skipped a week.
Hell yeah. If you want to go to voice.idiots.fm, I made a little spinny toy. And
How many,
you could do impressions with your friends.
Are you adding to that continuously, or is that... Yeah. Okay, that's fun.
Yeah, this is a toy that I can evolve.
Okay.
Eventually, it's going to spit out that answer in the Discord. I just didn't have time. And right now I have... So the options are alien, cowboy, which is what you pulled, ghost, robot, Batman, old man, drunk, or Southern Belle.
How the fuck do you do a ghost impression?
Ooh... Or something.
But how do you say words and do that?
I don't know.
Oh, I see.
Kind of like that.
I thought it might be like...
It could be that. That would be hilarious, actually. I feel like we could interpret a lot of these. I almost put Kermit on there, but I feel like
oh god,
you gotta know how to do Kermit to do Kermit. Otherwise, it sounds real janky.
Oh, as opposed to all of my other impressions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Felicia.
Hey, Jesse.
What's been going on the last 2 weeks? Let's make this 4 hours long.
Yeah, I don't recall what happened the week before
That's
last,
fine. That's
but
fine.
it was Thanksgiving. I went to
Yeah.
my family's house, had to take the cat, we rigged kind of an elaborate mesh screen between two doors to try to get them used to each other, but so my cat wouldn't feel so locked up.
Mhm.
It kind of worked. He didn't escape, but he did just kind of sit there and yell a lot. So,
As he does.
it's a start.
That's Mister's move.
Yeah, we did test it on my parents' cat first, and he was like, trying to find a way of escape, as you would expect,
Mhm.
trying to like slip his paw out the side, see if he could break out somehow. Whereas my cat kind of just sat there and screamed.
Yeah. His method is to annoy you until you do what he wants.
It really is. But happy to be home. Ate a lot of
Were there,
food.
uh, were there any fist fights?
No fist fights. My brother and dad did argue about like every single extant social issue in the span
Yeah.
of like 4 hours
That's
while
how that goes.
it is. And my mom and I were just trying to avoid it, so we played some Mario Party on my Switch. Um and
That really is. I've been in political fights like that with family members, and you really go down a bullet list.
well, as long as you're there.
Yeah. You gotta cover everything.
Yeah.
What were your dishes? What was the food looking like?
Oh man, everything. I mean, it's Thanksgiving fodder,
Yeah.
turkey, green bean casserole,
Yeah.
sweet
You
potatoes,
you doing cranberry sauce?
some cranberry sauce. Yeah. I brought vegetables because I was like, this is a thing we're probably not gonna have.
Right.
Um, yeah. I
Green
also
beans are a vegetable. Gravy's a vegetable.
gravy is not a vegetable, actually.
Mm,
Uh, it's
uh,
like animal fat and
yes.
butter.
Butter's a vegetable.
Okay, yeah, sure.
If you get
Um,
vegetable butter.
so I actually did opt to make applesauce because my grandma would always
What the
make
fuck?
this amazing applesauce when we were young.
Yeah.
And so I texted my grandma and I was like, what did you do to make that applesauce? Thinking that I was gonna get some like great family secret. And she was
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, I just microwave it with a lot of whiskey."
And it turns out, wait,
I didn't
you
do
were eating
that.
that when you were a kid?
Yeah. Dude, my grandma put booze in everything. She
Damn.
would make fruit salad and just dump a shit ton of peach schnapps in there, and we loved it.
Everybody's passing out. They're like, fuck, that tryptophan's crazy.
I swear to God, she would like bring that to church potlucks and stuff.
God damn. That
But
sounds,
yeah,
I love, what'd you say, Jello salad?
applesauce. Oh, fruit salad
Fruit
with
salad.
okay, yeah.
I love that shit. And I love ambrosia.
Try to make a fruit salad with a bunch of peach schnapps. It's good stuff.
I absolutely love peach
Me
schnapps. So
too.
that's like sounding real good to me.
But yes, I did not microwave apples and whiskey, but I did make it in the crock pot and I put a lot of Fireball in there. Because I figured, cinnamon whiskey. It turned out real good.
That's so weird to me. It occurs to me I have no clue how applesauce is made. I
If
guess
anybody
you
is
heat it up.
curious, this is gonna be a hodgepodge podcast. So here's my
Yeah.
recipe for applesauce.
Hell yeah. I'll try to put it in the Discord maybe, but I'll fail. I'll forget to.
I mean, it was a lot like by taste, but I ate big Fuji apples, peeled and chopped up in a crock pot with like maybe a quarter cup of water, like a squeeze of like half a lemon, a generous portion of either whiskey, like plain whiskey, or I used Fireball because cinnamon.
Yeah,
Then
that
I
sounds
put
great.
brown sugar, granulated sugar, and cinnamon, all just to taste, and then kind of adjusted as I went. Also vanilla and a pinch of salt. And then
Dude,
at the end, you just kind of immersion blend it.
did you know it's insanely easy to make brown sugar?
What do you, how? Just
It's
like molasses?
Yeah, it's granulated sugar and molasses, and you just fucking mix it up.
Huh.
I saw it, Miriam, I wish I knew this guy's name. It's Muscle Boy from Good Mythical Morning.
I don't know.
Or the Mythical Crew. He does like a cooking show. Muscle.
I can picture him in my head, but I do not know his name.
You know who I'm talking. It's Muscle
Yes.
Man.
Yeah.
He did a YouTube short that Miriam was watching, and I overheard it, and I looked over. I was like, "Wow, that's stupid easy to make."
Yeah, but it's way easier to just buy brown sugar.
Yeah, but if you're going for like quality, you can just make. You can impress.
I've never bought molasses in my life.
That's like an easy thing to impress people with, I feel like, is making like fresh brown sugar, and it's stupid easy. But
I guess.
I don't know.
I don't want to impress people. I want to be easy.
I do want to try that applesauce, though. It sounds really good.
That's fucking good.
9 Fuji apples. I made a lot. 8.
Yeah, it was a whole crock pot full, and it's completely gone.
Do you use... Let's make this a cooking show.
Great.
Do you use crock pot liners?
No.
We do.
I suppose that's like real nice so you don't have to clean the crock pot.
Yeah, it feels a little environment killy, but I don't care.
I don't use the crock pot much, honestly.
Oh, we use it quite a bit. All right, Thanksgiving. No punchy fights. You made applesauce. Cat did yellies.
Uh-huh.
You got anything else from your Thanksgiving?
Not from Thanksgiving, but I did buy Stardew Valley on Switch, and at first I was like, I think my thing is that I'm trying to get all the most Animal Crossing type games without actually buying Animal Crossing. And
you don't have Animal Crossing?
No.
What the fuck?
I think it was more a protest thing, so it was like $60. And Stardew Valley was like $13.
You don't understand though. Animal Crossing, you will get the $60 out of it. Miriam's been playing that shit since it came out every fucking day.
Well, at this point, I also feel like I missed the boat a little bit. Like, I'm sure it's still highly playable, but it doesn't have the same community that it used to. Like, nobody's fucking going to each other's islands and selling radishes or whatever the fuck it turnips.
Dude, if you get Animal Crossing, Miriam will 1,000,000% do that shit with you. I think she still goes to her friends' islands and vice versa.
I will consider it, but down the line, because I have gotten myself very hooked on Stardew Valley. It was like slow going because everything costs an insane amount of money, and I just really didn't understand how to make money in the game. But like once you get the hang of that, it's a lot more playable. It's just like it's a farming simulator, and then like a slight dating sim as well.
Right. Does it have like microtransactions?
No.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Luckily for me.
That's good at least. Yeah. That would be brutal.
Yeah.
Same with Animal Crossing. I think Animal Crossing doesn't have them either, and that would also be brutal.
I have spent a decent amount of money in my life on Farmville. So as a recovering Farmville head, it it's a good balance.
I stay away from those, or I try to.
Yeah, I tend to get real addicted, but not for long. Like it'll be maybe a couple weeks where I mostly do that, and then I'm off of it.
Hell yeah. Well, we'll see how long the Stardew Valley lasts.
Yeah. Hey, who's new with you?
Miriam was out of town for Thanksgiving, and I'm usually like super. What's the word? Like
Independent?
Yeah, I'm usually like I go as the wind goes.
Yeah.
So when she's out of town, I'm usually just doing my own thing. I miss her, but like I'm never like lonely. But this year, for whatever reason, I felt lonely on Thanksgiving.
I mean, I think anyone would if like your wife is gone, but also all of your friends for the most part are
Yeah.
with their family, so it's not like you could even do like a friend thing on the holiday.
I think that might be a big part of it. Like this year, more than other years, I have a larger social circle.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, like all that socialness drops out.
Yeah. I will
So
say
it felt weird.
it was weird for me even like I was with my family, but it was weird for me to not have that like, not do any watch along type things or
Yeah.
play Fortnite. Like it was weird to not have that for like 4 days.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I talked to anyone on Thanksgiving other than Miriam and like maybe you and Beth, but it was like super scattered. I spent
Yeah.
like most of Thursday and Friday just like doing my own thing. I did do Big Friday Fortnite stream on Friday, so that was fun.
Yeah, I wanted to watch, but I don't even remember. Oh, we were probably helping my mom. My mom is like the day after Thanksgiving, all the fall stuff gets put away and all the Christmas stuff comes out. So
Mhm.
it's always been like we decorate the day after Thanksgiving. And I used to love that. And now I'm like, God, I don't want to haul boxes back and forth and decorate your house.
Yeah, the more like as I age and as everyone around me ages, I think it becomes apparent that like I don't know if Scrooge was just a dick or if he just got old. Like I think the bah humbuggery like
Yeah, probably
just
a little bit of
happens
both.
with age some.
Totally. Well, it's not even like, not being in the spirit as much as it is just like I don't want to get all the decorations down from the garage
Yeah,
and then I got to
spiders.
put them back. Yeah.
Spiders are a big thing for me. I would never we don't keep shit in our attic and I could never do it.
I mean, if I had other options, I wouldn't.
Yeah. You need like a you need like a climate controlled storage facility.
Yeah, like vacuum sealed.
Yeah. Just Spideys in it.
Yeah.
They're fucking unavoidable. But yeah, well, I was having my like alone time. I worked on music a lot.
Hell yeah.
And I think the last time I recorded, I told you I got this toy called an MPC Studio
Yeah.
and learned how to use that. And I think I told you at some point that the reason my album is taking me so long is I'm trying to make it sound different, like kind of have a signature sound,
Okay.
which is fucking real hard to do because I've been making the same sort of music for so long that it's hard because it's all derivative what I've been doing.
Right.
I just like fucking around, but I never tried to like make my own shit. So, but on Thursday and Friday, I made a lot of progress and I'm making sounds that I think I haven't heard before and they're good.
Which is a really fun sentence out of context.
Yeah. I'm making like lots of sounds that I've never heard before. I remember, I gotta go doctor.
That's what you tell your doctor.
Go to my doctor's appointment and be like, I'm just making sounds.
So, I've
Some of them
never
were
heard
good. So nobody's ever heard them before. Let's see. I just pull out my beats. Oh, and the other thing I did on my list here, I laughed at you on dynamic banter.
Dude.
Because Steve was watching a ghost show, not the right ghost show, I imagine. He should watch Ghost Files, but he was watching a ghost show with someone who was taking it super serious, and she like called herself a sensitive, and apparently it like got under his skin and he couldn't let it go. So there was a big diatribe on dynamic banter about that being really annoying.
So
that ended him calling Felicia.
Yeah, this is the second week in a row I've been called by dynamic banter.
Yeah.
The first time was Steve. This time it was Mike. And first of all, when they called me, it was prefaced by so much like, first of all, you're not gonna like this, but just know that we love you.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. But yeah, like, first of all, I had no fucking idea any of their the whole conversation they had leading up to that phone call. So they basically just called me and said, why aren't psychics doing anything about it? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Which is a sentiment that I agree with. But
I assumed you would, but the argument that I didn't really get was like, Steve was kind of saying like, why aren't psychics solving world hunger? And it's like, I don't think that the magic, quote unquote, that exists is like storybook magic. I don't think that people can just cast a spell and solve world hunger. And I think people with these kind of like extrasensory abilities only have power to change things on a very small scale. So, and Mike was kind of on that same page because he was like, tell me, like, what's the glue between a psychic and world hunger? You know, what could they possibly do? So it was just like such a grand scale that he was talking about. So it's funny because we had like an hour-long talk with Steve after they recorded where I was just like gently arguing with him about this. But then also over the weekend, I was texting back and forth with Mike because I assumed that he would be the one who was disagreeing with me when in reality he was saying the same thing I was. So we were just like, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I've heard Mike complain about Mercury being in retrograde before.
Oh, sure. But it wasn't even like whether or not you believe in anything mystical. Steve was straight up being like, you know, why doesn't the person down the street who has a psychic reading shop go out and change the world? And I'm just like, I don't think that's within their powers.
It's not provable. This is like an argument that can't be won.
You know what the funny thing is too is that Steve was also saying like, if you're psychic or you can talk to ghosts, go solve a murder. Well, like that fucking night, I watched Unsolved Mysteries with my family, and the episode was about how this woman was living, like moved to a new house and started having these weird dreams.
Yeah.
And like ended up telling the police and found like a murder victim tied to the house and like was able to find the culprit. So I was like, see, it does exist.
I mean, that's anecdotal as fuck. Like,
no, it's not anecdotal. If she called the cops and told them, hey, check this location, and then they went and found it.
Yeah, but is it like an apartment?
Yeah, it was like the murderer's residence, and like his ex-girlfriend confessed that like she was involved. That's not anecdotal. That's a hard case.
Okay, I'll give you one.
See, that's what it makes me want to do, like a deep dive about cases that have been solved with the assistance of psychics. Because I bet you anything they're out there. Whether or not you believe they got their information supernaturally, I bet you that people have, like police departments have employed psychics before.
I tend to believe that people that advertise their sensitivity or whatever, or their ability to do magic, are people who want to feel special without doing the work. Yeah. That's like the easiest way to feel special and you don't have to do anything.
Well, that's the problem, is the only, like the loudest people you hear are usually the phonies, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But anyway, it was an interesting phone call that led to a lot of interesting discussion.
Yeah, I like that episode. And I agree with Steve. Steve was very frustrated and it came across, but I agree with the core sentiment that like if there were sensitives that were powerful enough to change shit, there'd be like a United States sensitive army. Like, because the military tried to find people like that. Well, like, why aren't they in the army?
I don't disagree with that. Like, I really don't disagree with that sentiment at all. I just think that powers on that scale don't exist, but that doesn't mean there's no powers out there. They're just not like.
I think powers on that scale do exist, but they're the product of a shit ton of research and science. Like, we make.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about.
That's like magic, right?
Sure. I'm saying the magic on that scale where, like, you know, why don't a group of witches get together and hex fucking Russia? I don't know. That kind of magic I don't believe exists. The bottom line is just, I don't think that kind of like supernatural power is real. I think that, you know, people can read tarot or sense spirits or I don't know, like on a very, very small scale. And those people usually are the ones that have like small practices and like a small community of clients that they help. So I think that they are changing the world just on a very small scale. They're helping people.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that the type of magic Steve was referencing is within a witch's capabilities. And I don't think any witch really believes that either. If someone is saying that, they're fake.
That's true. Or it's archaic. I think a lot of like claims of magic are from like archaic roots where like if you put uranium in a hex bag and then put it under someone's bed, they're going to die. But if you
Yeah.
don't have like the science to prove what that is, you can for sure like understand how someone would think a witch with uranium in a hex bag was doing like magic curses. But I think that like has traveled from archaic times up through the years, but we're not like at some point you just have to look at science as the new magic and then stop caring if someone can like make their hands warmer than you. Like you have to look at what we're doing with computers as magic and what we're doing as like how we're combining our powers as humanity to make fucking crazy shit happen. There's crazy shit happening all around us and we're still focused on people like creating like a static shock with their finger or whatever. And that's the maddening part to me is that when I think about it, it all comes down to like some person just wanting to feel special individually. And I don't think that's the right path forward.
Yeah, I don't think science and like spirituality necessarily have to be mutually exclusive when you're looking at, well, because like you don't have to believe in either magic or science. You can
Yeah.
believe in science, but you can also still believe that people can see ghosts, which is kind of
Yeah.
like where I am.
Yeah. And I think people could see ghosts too. We're just like, we think about it differently.
Yeah. But yeah. We can't do another dynamic banter.
No.
So if you want to hear more of that, just listen to whatever fucking episode that is.
Listen to Steve just die inside for an hour.
Yeah, you could really tell he'd like had it.
Yeah, he's
And
sick of
like
it.
I think Mike was essentially just trying to be like, why is this bothering you so much?
Yeah. Yeah, I think Steve just got like something that hit a nerve real nice.
Yeah.
And that just happens sometimes.
It does.
Let's talk about what we watched, I guess, over the last 2 weeks. Probably try to be fast about it. So this is 5 hours long. We watched Parasite in VR. And when I wrote this, it was 2 weeks ago.
And not the Bong Joon-ho Parasite.
No, this is Parasyte. I can't remember. It's Asian, but I can't remember if it's Korean. I think it might be Korean.
I don't know.
But I really don't remember. That's one of the weirdest movies I've ever seen.
It was very fun, and then it just kind of started to drag.
Yeah.
And like I lost the plot.
It had more endings than like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. It started very fun.
Yeah. What was the premise? It was like an alien.
So it was kind of like an alien species was coming to Earth, and the aliens took over the host's brain. So they'd like physically be there, but you know, like it'd be the alien essentially taking over somebody's body. One alien didn't do that correctly and ended up just kind of controlling a guy's arm.
Yeah.
Even though he was fully intact of his own, fully in control of his own faculties, except his arm.
Yeah.
So.
And his hand made a weird monster.
Yes.
That could do ninja moves.
could do ninja moves, but was also like had a childlike curiosity about everything because apparently it had no real memories or something.
Yeah, it was very highly recommended if you like weird shit, but it ends too many times.
Yeah, it definitely goes on too long and it kind of gets jumbled, but it's a fun time.
Was that the night we watched Yankee in the Snow? It wasn't.
No, I think that was the next week.
Yeah, that was this last Tuesday. We started. There was a whole dynamic banter again the week before called Felicia, but it was about Yankee in the South.
Yeah, and we talked about it on here too.
We did. Okay.
So yeah, just quick summary. Yankee in the South is a vlog channel hosted by a husband and wife who are just kind of like awkward, unaware Midwesterners living in Tennessee and doing a whole bunch of like kind of white trash tourist vlogs.
Yeah.
And they're just really wholesome but cringe. We started watching it ironically and then kind of actually got into it.
And they talked about it on Dynamic Banter.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked Steve into watching one of the videos in VR. And that led down like it had to have been a 3-hour rabbit hole or 3 or 4 hours.
See, once you get into the videos, there's like this greater lore that exists that's like, what's the nature of this couple's relationship? What do you think their day-to-day life is like?
Yeah.
So we kind of went down that rabbit hole. Steve was like, it sounded very much like he was not having a good time, but he was the one who kept clicking more videos.
Oh, and we were all laughing very hard, including Steve. This was like, I think he said it's the hardest he's laughed in VR.
Yeah, I think we all were.
Yeah, I was dying too. But there's something magical about watching this channel with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Because it's the shittiest content you've ever seen in your life.
And just the most like mundane.
They're doing mundane, unimportant shit. They're going to places like, I think the loudest we laughed was at a gas station that was right next to a fireworks warehouse.
Yeah.
And they went to this gas station and they were doing a food review and the food looked fucking awful. And
it was like a baked potato place.
Yes, it looked terrible and they were not acknowledging it. They were just like eating this slop. And I don't know, it's the shittiest content ever. It's super awkward, but there is a through line of the main character, Will.
Main character, like he's not a real ass person.
Well, I think Dawn's the main character, but like Will's the host.
Yeah.
And there's something dark behind Will's eyes.
And we all see it. Everybody, single one of us.
Everybody who watches this fucking channel sees it. And it was so funny when we were watching it with Steve and new people as they were going down the bullet points of things that you, Beth, and I had questioned.
Yes. Dude, and fucking Harley was so validating because he was just like, I don't fucking trust this guy. I think I hate this guy. We're like, yes.
It was immediate. There's something there's something up with this couple and it's not good.
And we're like also kind of trying to find almost ARG like clues while watching the video.
Yeah. That was super fun. We're never going to watch it in VR again because that was a hate watch from Steve.
Oh, absolutely. And it was like,
he was laughing. He hated every second of it.
Oh, totally. We gently mock them. That was like brutal.
Yeah. There were entire storylines created.
Yes. I think I will continue to enjoy them with you and Beth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's ever going to come up in VR again.
No, I don't think so. Unless something amazing happens.
Yeah.
We watched Smile for a watch along. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fine. It was a decent movie.
Yeah, nothing groundbreaking. Pretty fun. I watched Speed. Have you ever seen Speed?
The Keanu Reeves one?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I like it.
I watched that with my James on Cinema Patreon guy.
Hell yeah.
And that was very fun because he had never seen it. I binged through season 4 of Atlanta, which is still one of my favorite shows.
I don't think I know what that is.
Atlanta is Donald Glover's production. Childish Gambino, he was in Community. He did
yeah, I
This
know
Is
who he is.
America. Oh, okay, you know. So he made this show called Atlanta, and it's like Afro surrealism. So it's a very weird show, but it's well made and well written. And there are like story arcs, but weird shit happens throughout the season. And
Okay.
if you watch the first episode of Atlanta, you'll know whether or not you want to watch the rest of the whole series, because that first episode ends in a way that hooked me so hard and made me laugh so hard. And it was like really funny. So watch the first episode of Atlanta. If you like it, then maybe watch the rest. Season 4 was the last season, and I binged through it. And there's an episode where it's like a fake documentary about the Goofy movie.
What the fuck?
It's a standalone. So it's Atlanta season 4, episode 8. And even if you don't watch Atlanta, you should watch that standalone episode because it's so fucking funny. It's basically like redoes the history of Disney that led to the Goofy movie. Kind of like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, how Tarantino like flipped that shit at the end.
Mm-hmm.
This whole episode just flips Disney on its head, and it's real weird and funny.
Interesting.
I watched Stutz, which is Jonah Hill's therapist, on Netflix. They just shot like I think the idea was to shoot a therapy session.
Okay.
Where he wanted to like introduce a system that his therapist used that helped him to feel better. That was like interesting. And especially if you have body image issues, as I of course do, they really tackle some shit in there that's interesting.
It sounds like something that I should watch, but also doesn't sound like I want to watch it.
Yeah, it kind of skirts that line, and I don't even know if I'd recommend it. I would just say that the body image stuff was interesting. The movie itself was like a little boring, as you would expect.
Yeah.
If you don't like Jonah Hill, you'll hate it.
I don't like Jonah Hill.
Oh, well, you might hate it. His therapist is actually really cool, though. He's a guy with Parkinson's, and he's funny, and he's just like an old neurotic dude who gives good advice. But yeah, Stutz was okay. I watched 3:10 to Yuma, which I highly recommend if you like Westerns.
Do you like Westerns? I haven't seen that one, though.
I thought about waiting on that one, but that was another watch along with my the director guy.
Yeah, and it's not like it's a new movie.
I think it's from like 2007 or something, but I haven't seen it before, and it was very, very good.
Okay.
And then me and Miriam watched Guardians of the Galaxy, the holiday special.
I've been very curious about that. Do tell.
Do recommend.
Okay.
It's very weird though. There's a couple songs, and the songs were fucking great.
What the fuck? Okay.
I wanted it to be more for kids.
What do you mean?
It felt adulty. I don't know what I mean, actually.
I feel like Guardians is kind of Guardians kind of skirts the line because it is, silly and it's got outer space creatures, but there's also like a bunch of dick jokes.
Yeah. And they kept that. Like, if you like that flavoring, they kept that. But to me, like a holiday special, I'm usually looking for it to be more for kids. And this like leans more adult. I guess I just wanted it to be more in the middle of the spectrum as opposed to like more on the adult side of it. Because
I'll have to give
when they make it for adults, or when they make it for kids, you can like forgive some cheesy shit happening for some reason. Yeah. But when you're making it for adults, that cheesy shit like really stands out.
Unless it's done in like a really self-aware way that it's making fun of it.
It is. I think give it a shot and then let me know what you think.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. Some other friends of mine who really love Guardians watched it and loved it. So
yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm like at a 7.5, so it wasn't bad.
That's solid. I watched one thing. Not as many as you, but last night I watched Bullet Train with my parents. It was okay. Like it was a fun kind of heist movie. And it was definitely star-studded. I think some of it was just kind of like, you're watching it for what celebrity they're gonna reveal next.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, it was like fun. It was kind of goofy. It was a little bit long, but it was a good time. I wasn't like blown away, but I had to watch it again. It was fun.
Yeah, we were close to doing that as a watch along, but it like kept falling on the back burner.
Yeah.
And it had like it had a slight stink to it in my head.
Yeah, I watching it, I was thinking about that because I know we had brought it up as a potential watch along, and I don't know that you would love this movie.
Probably
I think
not.
it might be a little bit too like tongue in cheek goofy for you.
Yeah.
It's like very fast talking. Um like
I don't mind that. Like Aaron Sorkin style dialogue.
like more like Gilmore Girls.
Oh, I actually love Gilmore Girls.
I know you do. Like, so I don't know, maybe you would, but it's also just like there's so many punchline. It's like fast talking, but every other sentence there's like a punchline.
Yeah.
So I
Sounds
don't
like
know.
Sorkin-y, which I
It's
also
very
love.
yeah, it's a very strange pace, but it is really like it's unique, you know? I don't see that kind of style a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a watch. You might like it, you might hate it.
I might still watch it because it was on my radar. Just something about it like made me put it off for some reason.
Yeah, if you want to watch it with me and Beth potentially, I'd watch it again because I also was maybe simultaneously playing Stardew Valley.
All right, cool. Maybe you catch some new stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the time for asking
Question
is right now.
Well, we got 3 questions from the Discord.
I forgot to look, so this will be fun.
Hell yeah. The first one is from Efren. He asks, when was the last time you physically queued / purchased concert tickets and who was it for?
So for me, the bands that I listen to are generally not unknown, but they're much smaller than like they don't sell out stadiums. They're playing at like bars and clubs.
Yeah.
So there is no queue. When they announce tour tickets, I just go great and buy one for $20,
Right.
Probably the biggest concert I have ever been to was a Ninja Sex Party in Chicago that had 5,000 people in the Argonne Ballroom, and even that there was no like queue. I mean, like as much as Ticketmaster does, I guess, where it, reserves your tickets. But also, when I buy concert tickets, if there is an option for VIP, I will usually get it because at the very least you get in before everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
So you get close to the stage, and I feel like that's worth it.
He does say specifically physically queued. When's the last time you physically like stood in line for tickets to a concert or something?
For tickets, never. I've always bought concert tickets online.
Yeah, I think I'm also in that same boat. Even
I was thinking like this might have been a response to the whole Taylor Swift Ticketmaster incident, where people were in the online queues forever and ended up not getting tickets, and then they're going for like thousands of dollars now. I would never put up with that shit. I don't give a fuck who's performing. I would never pay that much money.
Me too.
And I would never endure that.
Mine might be from like 20 years ago. And it would have been like raves, not concerts.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, there's still, I guess, technically a line to get in when you buy general admission tickets.
Yeah.
But I'm like a very show up early or do the VIP ticket thing so you don't have to stand in that line.
Yeah. The last show I went to was like Trans-Siberian Orchestra 7 or 8 years ago. And I'm pretty sure we bought those tickets online.
Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't. If you're a kind of person who flies by the seat of your pants so much that you'll buy tickets at the door, I'm congrats, but I don't have that kind of faith.
I think mine might have been Smashing Pumpkins the night before their keyboardist died.
Oh shit.
But that was like you couldn't buy tickets online. Is the only reason why I'm thinking that must have been.
But was the only option like day of, or could you go to the box office and buy them in advance?
That's the thing.
Because I would have done that.
I'm pretty sure I know my brother bought them for us because I went with my brother. but I don't remember if we stood in line and bought them there or what. I know we didn't buy them online. So I actually don't know the answer to this question, but I think maybe Smashing Pumpkins in like 1996 or 7, whenever their
I was
keyboardist died.
looking. Yeah, that's really weird timing.
We went to their last show. That's like my claim to fame.
Shit. That's pretty cool.
Get the whole band together.
I looked because I used to go to not a shit ton of concerts, but like a fair amount whenever bands I like would announce shows. First of all, I always have to go to San Francisco pretty much because it's the closest tour destination. Nobody has ever come any closer. Until like I think it was 4 years ago. I looked back through pictures to see what my last concert was. About 4 years ago. It's definitely pre-pandemic. Tupperware Remix Party and Planet Booty had a show together at a place in Petaluma, which is 30 minutes from me as opposed to over an hour. So I was like, holy fuck, this is the closest anybody I listen to has ever come to me. So I ended up going to that. But I went with people who I'm not friends with anymore who insisted we be like sitting down at tables in the back of the room and didn't want to be like standing up at the front. So if you win some, you lose some.
Planet Booty.
It's still a fun show.
Planet Booty's got a good song that you sent me. I can't remember.
It's called Naked.
Yeah, that was a fun song.
Yeah, I love Planet Booty. They're they've got like a handful of bops, but also they're just like super like body positive and very uplifting. Like whenever you go to their shows, they're like screaming out, love yourself and shit like that. But they're so convincing when they do it. And the main guy, like the lead singer, always gets mostly naked by the end.
Hell yeah.
So if you have the opportunity, it's a fun show.
Tatiana asks, Etsy.com/magicwithmage.
Support local artists for Christmas.
She makes stickies. They're fun.
Hell yeah.
She asks, what's a show or movie that you can put on in the background and never get sick of? In 2020/21, I ran through The Office 3 times back to back.
Yeah, like The Office, Parks and Rec, those kind of shows were generally my go-to. Lately, I haven't even really been in the mood for that. I'll occasionally rewatch Psych. That's like my comfort show because I started watching that when I was a kid. And also lately it's just been cooking shows, mostly Gordon Ramsay shows.
At some point, I'm going to go back to Gordon. I do like Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
I'll eventually like circle back. Mine are That 70s Show.
Also a very good one. I do that too.
No matter what, I can watch that any day, and I can watch however many play in a row.
Yeah.
Seinfeld is like comfort. That's my childhood comfort. I used that was like happy times I can remember back. We would have every Thursday we would watch Seinfeld, and we would have Chinese food with our Seinfeld watch.
Oh.
So that's the one I just play for nostalgia. I love Seinfeld. MASH is another one that I can just watch forever. Have you ever seen any MASH?
Yes, I have seen MASH, but it wasn't one. So like Seinfeld and you have Frasier, spoiler, sorry. But those were fine. Those were shows that my parents would be watching. So like they were just kind of always on in the background. I never really sat and paid attention to them, but like, I must have seen all the episodes. It's just they didn't really register at the time. But MASH wasn't in that cycle much. Every once in a while, but I have very little experience with MASH compared to Seinfeld.
MASH remains good. MASH is just a fucking great all-time show. It's so good. And Frasier is like in the same vein as Seinfeld. That's like I love Frasier. I can just rewatch it. That's like early memories. Like Seinfeld and Frasier were stuff that I watched with my parents. That 70s show is stuff that 70s show I watched with Miriam. We used to binge through it and just chill on the couch and watch a million of them.
Yeah, that's kind of the same for me, where like Seinfeld and Frasier are comforting because they were shows that my parents would keep on while we ate dinner or something, And then, yeah, that 70s show is like something I used to binge watch as a teenager. So
I just have to stop thinking about Danny Masterson and Scientology.
I know, dude. I know.
It's hard.
And
it's hard to do.
Not even just that, but he was not a good person.
No, he's a bad person.
Yeah.
Tatana asked us another. Tiny Anna asked us another question. Getting punch drunk. Hey, idiots! What movie is full of idiots? This can mean whatever you want it to mean, from characters to actors or directors.
For me, I would say 7 Stages to Achieve Eternal Bliss by Passing Through the Gateway Chosen by the Holy Storch. I think they also shortened it to 7 Stages to Achieve Eternal Bliss. It is I don't even know how to fucking describe it, dude. It's about this couple played by Sam Huntington and Kate McCucci who move to a surprisingly cheap apartment in New York and find out it's cheap because it used to be home to a cult leader, and now all of his followers keep trying to break into their apartment to commit suicide in their bathtub. I fucking love it. I know it's like too silly for you.
I gave it a shot and didn't last very long.
I think one of the reasons I love it so much is because of the way that it was introduced to me. We got it as a screener for Fright Day, and my friend Alex is the one who claimed the screener and started watching it. And he was like messaging me like, you have to watch this movie. Sam Huntington has the most bonkers monologue I've ever heard. So I like finally watched it and, was so up until that point. But truly, Sam Huntington has this monologue that he delivers to a cartoon bird from his bathtub that is so bonkers. It really feels ad-libbed. It doesn't feel scripted. Right. But it's like the first time I listened to it, I was dying laughing. I had to keep rewinding it. And I still have it saved on my phone because it was like a year in between the time we got the screener and the time it was released. So we were the only 2 people who knew about this monologue and just kept trying to show it to as many people as we could. So I think that whole, process endeared me to the film a little bit more. I did try to show it to my parents and they also hated it.
Yeah.
It's very stupid and it's full of idiots. But I really like it.
You might be able to talk me into trying a watch along. I didn't give it that much time at all.
I think you might still hate it. Like, I don't really see it as super duper being a you movie. Yeah. But there are some great moments throughout.
But in watch along form, I could at least hate it entertainingly.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a real fun watch along. Please, let's do that.
Okay.
Especially considering what we're about to do, which we'll talk about later.
I'll do it. Mine is Super Troopers. It's full of huge idiots. It's like packed to the brim. It's nothing but idiots. And it's my favorite dumb fun movie.
Hell yeah.
Because I'm sure it isn't good. That's the impression that I get.
Wow, Felicia, it's impression time.
Can I guess, is RW Rainn Wilson?
No.
Oh, okay.
Who's another
I don't have
RW?
another guess. Roger White.
You're close with the raw.
Robbie? Robert?
Real close.
Robert?
No.
Robin Williams.
Yeah, you did it. What's deep?
And does something Poet Society. What is it? Dead Poet Society.
Dead Poet Society.
You're going to give me a sad monologue to do as a cowboy?
Yeah, that's the point. I think it's fun. I think it's real fun to fuck this up as a cowboy.
So, also, I'm not doing a Robin Williams impression. I am doing a cowboy impression.
You're doing a Robin Williams monologue as a cowboy.
Yes.
I didn't do the whole thing. Hold on, I'm trying to find it so I can paste it in here. As a cowboy, you're quoting Walt Whitman because that's what Robin Williams does, and then you're doing the rest of his thing. I'll play it.
To quote from Whitman, "O me, O life of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, O me, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?
Wow.
Rest in
Beautiful.
peace.
Rest in peace. What a fucking, that's about a third of that monologue. I really thought about giving you the whole thing. It would have been way too long.
I would have made you cry if I wasn't a cowboy.
Yeah, I know. That's the point. This is going to be great. This is either going to be great or we're never going to do this bit again.
Okay.
Are you ready to do it as a cowboy?
I think I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my inner cowboy. I'm channeling Arthur Morgan right now.
Okay.
Oh, me.
Nope.
No,
You missed
what was that?
You missed the top part.
Oh, sorry. It was it wasn't spaced.
Yeah, my bad.
Oh, fuck. I lost my cowboy.
Gotta get that cowboy back. Maybe you sound something like this.
To quote from Whitman. Oh, why can't I think of what a cowboy sounds like?
To quote from Whitman.
Oh me, oh life, of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish. What good amid these? Why, I'm Southern now.
That's cowboy.
Oh me, oh life. Answer that you are here, partner. That life exists.
Listen, he doesn't say partner. You gotta stick to
being a cowboy.
Okay, all right, whatever makes it work for you.
Giddy up, that life exists.
I have tuberculosis and identity.
Oh, no, too real. That you are here.
I'm addicted to laudanum.
An identity that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be? That was not a cowboy.
Wow.
That was like Southern gentleman. That was fucking Bill.
I mean, it was decent. It was good enough. I feel like it warranted.
I couldn't say. Yeah, there was not enough
giddy
cowboy.
up or whatever.
Yeah, boy.
Giddy up. No, you can't do that.
Come on.
That's got racial undertones.
Oh, I was like talking to my horse.
Boy. Oh, your horse is boy, or your son like got a war.
No, it's just my horse. It's like, that's all right, boy. That's like what Arthur says.
You did good. Butchered it, which is the point. And that's great fun. Wow, I like it. I like our new spinny toy. What do you think?
I like it. I really thought I had a better cowboy in my repertoire, but that came out, so.
It was good enough, I felt like.
Great.
Hell yeah, you just needed to spit or something, or like tip your hat, even though that you can't really tip a hat in audio form.
Howdy from the words to quote from Whitman.
Quote from Whitman.
Oh me old life, howdy partner.
Oh, the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish.
Yeah.
The guy was like tearing him to pieces with his mouth. So I told him, get off. You know, it's like, and the
Can
guy
you do
just
this
kept
as a cowboy?
Eating the other guy away, like ripping his skin.
Larry Vega describes it as a scene out of a horror movie, as a naked man chewed off the face of another naked man.
Okay, next week, I want to transcribe that and we'll do the spinny thing.
That's perfect.
And that'll be great. Maybe you gotta do that. There are 2 people talking as a drunk.
Will you be the reporter?
We'll do a double spin.
Okay.
I'll be the reporter in a voice, and you be the man on this, whatever, the interviewee.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have news from like last week.
Cool.
Brendan Fraser in GQ as the Man of the Year for 2022. They're further building up your boy to destroy him. I'm just waiting to see.
Jesse is trying to upset me by saying that Brendan Fraser is going to do something cancelable, and I don't believe that.
It's not that he's going to do something cancelable. There's a media cycle where they build someone up, and then eventually there will be some enterprising young journalist who says, no. We have to destroy Brendan Fraser now.
I think this is a different case because he's being built up because he just returned.
Yeah.
He was gone
destroyed before.
Yeah, exactly. And for something absolutely not his fault.
Correct. But it ebbs and flows. Actually, I don't
think anyone has had that extreme of a comeback in recent years.
I think the apex of his destruction was when he did that weird clap thing at the Oscars or whatever it was. Do you remember that?
What? No.
Oh man. Hold on. I want to show you.
You can't do this now.
I want to show you this real quick.
Oh.
I can't believe you've not seen this.
Was it recently or
no?
A long time ago.
Long time ago, right before we never heard him again.
Maybe I did, but I certainly don't remember.
Hold on, where? God damn it. Why does Giphy suck so much? Okay. I'm sending this to you.
Great.
On Telegram.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
That was the apex, that weird clap. And then we never heard from him until he came back.
Didn't have anything to do with...
I really think it does. Audience, tell us if you remember the same that I do, because I
don't really think we should be joking about a man who was sexually assaulted to the point where he had to leave Hollywood.
Whoa, really?
You didn't know that?
No, I thought he just got a wacky divorce.
No, he majors. I think it was maybe MGM. I want to say a head honcho at MGM, felt him up at some event. And when he tried to tell people about it, he was ostracized.
Whoa. No, I didn't know that. I knew he got
and then
a real messy
divorce happened. Yeah, and his wife took him for an insane amount of alimony.
Yeah, and then the weird clap because I thought he went crazy.
No,
I didn't
he didn't go crazy. He was assaulted.
Weird. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Wait, did Terry Crews reference that at some point? I think maybe Terry Crews.
Why the fuck would Terry Crews reference that?
Because the same thing happened to Terry Crews.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wow. Hollywood's fucked up. Let's never join it.
Yeah. How about it?
I've put the first image of Owen Wilson in paint in our little document here.
I saw that and I was like, hey, did they steal Steve's whole bit?
Maybe, yeah. I'm real interested. I want to see this movie. It's a comedy, and it's definitely a Bob Ross bit, and I'm wondering how close to Dave and Ross it is.
Yeah.
I haven't asked Steve, though. I don't know. He probably doesn't give a shit. The other news I had was Bob Chapek out as CEO of Disney. Bob Iger is back, and I hope that means less Star Wars and Marvel shit.
Yeah, I saw that as well, and I saw it there was a screenshot of his statement, but it was real long, and I was like, I'm not gonna read that. Yeah. But hey, yeah, maybe it'll be good.
He was apparently hiding financial misgivings and shit. He was probably doing bad stuff. And I remember, I think Bob Iger was in the lead as the MCU was climbing up the Disney chain. So I'm
hopefully
hoping
he can get it back on track.
Yeah, I want to be excited about Marvel stuff again.
Me too. I have a couple news things.
Oh hell yeah, hit me.
First of all, Banshees of Inisherin comes to HBO Max on December 13th.
Oh yeah, we're gonna watch along.
We're gonna cry about it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Maybe not watch along.
Yeah, probably not. Princess Diaries 3 is in the works.
Oh, fuck. I can't wait.
Honestly, okay. I get it. Totally get it. But those movies still fucking slap. And I am not ashamed to say it.
I think they slap for maybe a certain type of person.
No, I mean, so the first one came out, obviously when I was the right age to be the audience for it.
Uh-huh.
And, it's Julie Andrews. So if you were a Mary Poppins kid or, a Sound of Music kid, then sure.
Is Princess Diary the one with the chick who looks like she's crying all the time?
Anne Hathaway?
No. Renee Zellweger.
Oh, no. That's Bridget Jones' Diary.
Oh, that's another diary thing.
Yeah.
It occurs to me I don't know what the fuck you're talking about then.
Oh, Princess Diaries is Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews.
What do they do?
Julie Andrews is the queen of a country called Genovia, and Anne Hathaway plays her granddaughter who finds out she is a princess when she's a teenager.
Oh.
Because she's like a really nerdy, unpopular girl. So they have to like doll her up to be the princess.
What's the vibe? Is it like a comedy?
Yeah, like the first one is definitely somewhat aimed towards teen girls, but I think it still kind of holds up.
Okay.
The second one is goofier and has Chris Pine as a love interest, and he plays an asshole. So yeah, I'm kind of excited. I wonder what the vibe will be. Like, I don't know if they're gonna try to cater more towards kids, or if they're gonna cater towards the adults who watched it as kids.
Well, when you watch it, report back.
I shall. I don't think there's any kind of release dates or anything yet. Disney just confirmed that they're working on it, essentially.
My immediate when they get to the third of things, the quality usually falls off a cliff.
Well, it's going to be essentially similar to like Hocus Pocus at this point, because you know, it's so long after the first movie came out that it's not really a third movie as much as it is like a reboot type thing.
Yeah, like a fan servicey reboot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think people will just be happy to see Julie Andrews again. There was a story that came out that says Chris Hemsworth will be taking a break from acting after learning he has a genetic predisposition to Alzheimer's.
I saw that and I was real sad about it.
I was also confused though, because like, why step away now if that's something that might happen in the future? Or does that mean he's likely to get it young?
My guess is it fucked him up.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, it'd be hard. That's a pretty big hit to take, because that's basically like I don't know. I get medical anxiety because I can't go to a doctor. So So if anything like twinges in me and I'm like, oh fuck, that's gonna be a doctor in like 2 years, I start to have like building anxiety about it. I can only imagine what it feels like to know that there's a fucking ticking time bomb in your genes.
But a genetic predisposition doesn't mean you're for sure going to get it. Also, like my grandpa had Alzheimer's, which means likely I may have it too, but I'm not like depressed about it. I don't know. Maybe maybe it is just an anxiety thing.
Yeah.
But I was kind of just like, I don't really understand why that's such a blow, because I feel like there's such a high chance of getting it anyway.
If you've got like the genetic marker for it, I don't know.
Maybe just because he's like somebody who's so like takes such good physical care of himself.
Yeah.
Kind of his whole brand is that he's like a bodybuilder essentially.
Yeah.
I can see that being a big hit.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just a burst of anxiety, and we'll see him. Like, someone will offer him money in like 10 years, and we'll see him again probably.
Yeah, I feel like we're just starting to learn that Chris Hemsworth is actually funny, and we should be using him in more comedies. So I do hope he comes back.
I think he's got a family too, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
So he probably hit home as well, that he might want to spend what time he can with his family.
Yeah, that's
like
fair.
He probably felt invincible before this, if I had to guess.
That makes sense.
So that really fucking sucks. I hope that he doesn't get Alzheimer's, because that shit's nasty.
Yes, it is.
I hate it.
My last bit was Jason Blum and James Wan are in talks to merge their companies Blumhouse and Atomic Monster into a mega supplier of horror films. I think that sounds awful.
James Wan Blum is the one. Who?
James Wan. He's the one who does the Conjuring movies and like Annabelle, that whole franchise. So they're both mass producers of like shitty theatrical horror aimed at teens. So it just feels like if they now join forces, they're going to be cornering the market on horror, and we're going to see a whole lot more soulless mass produced pieces of shit.
Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing if they have more money to throw at
I just
good
think, I mean,
projects. I don't
for
know.
Blum, every once in a, I've said this before, but Blumhouse, I feel like, does that to fund an occasional good movie.
Yeah.
One, not so much. One seems like, I don't hate The Conjuring. They're just very, it's just theatrical horror. It's the summer blockbuster type of movies.
Right.
But I just think that them joining forces means that we're just going to get a whole lot more just generic cranked out films, and I hope that it doesn't overshadow all the good indie picks that still exist.
It also kind of sucks when two indie-ish studios merge and then go. It feels like they're going more corporate-y and going away
Blum
from...
and Wan are not indie.
There isn't... Okay.
No, they're not indie at all. They're very corporate. So I feel like this is like fucking Disney and Fox joining forces.
I thought they were indie.
Blum dabbles in both, I'll say.
They
because he kind of just gives money to directors to do whatever the fuck they want, essentially.
That's what I meant. And
but I feel like 80% of his shit is still the mass-produced theatrical stuff.
Because I would put A24 in the indie category, and A24 reminds me of, like, Blum feels like the horror A24 to me, but not as good.
I guess Blum's a little more complicated. Wan is definitely not indie. Blum dabbles in indie. I guess somebody who's really used to Conjuring type films might think of Blum as indie, but because he does fun stuff like Creep, which is great.
Yeah. The last Conjuring movie I saw was fucking
it
dog
was
shit.
Awful. Yeah. I will never fucking forget Lorraine taking a fucking heart pill out of her locket to give to Ed.
Yeah. Wow.
I like burst out laughing, and I think that was supposed to be like a sweet, tender moment.
Yeah, it probably was. God damn, what an awful movie.
Yeah. So, love it when two corporate giants join forces.
Maybe, hopefully it means good mainstream horror. Maybe.
Just remember to support indie film so it doesn't disappear.
I love indie film. Let's all support it.
Yes.
I'm very excited. Are you excited?
Nah, there's fucking nothing.
I looked, man. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing.
I'm like moderately excited about that Santa thing.
The one with
fucking I should have put it on the list, actually.
I am the David Harbour one?
Yeah, David Harbour. I think that comes out in the theaters this week. If I could go to a theater, I would be excited about it. But
yeah, that's one that I don't think that I need to see in theaters. I can certainly wait for it to be released on VOD, but I would like to watch it.
That's the only thing that I would be kind of excited about. Otherwise, I think we're in the doldrums here.
We are, and I know we're in the doldrums because all of the like film accounts that I follow have just been posting like 20 years ago on this day, this movie was released. It's like, okay.
I do think in 2 weeks we're going to start to have some bangers because I know that film studios like to push out Oscar contenders before the first of the year. So I think
I hope that's the case.
I think we might start to have bangers, but not this week. God damn, it's empty.
Yeah.
Felicia.
Yeah.
What are we watching this week?
We're going to be watching, I mean, it's technically a you pick because this is a movie you love, but I did suggest it because you've wanted us to watch it for a while. And what's that movie, Jesse?
It's Super Troopers.
Wow.
It's I also have it listed on Paramount Plus, but it's not on that. I forgot to look up. Give me 2 seconds. I'll find out where it is.
Okay.
VOD on Apple TV, or you probably find it wherever.
Yeah.
But Super Troopers produced one of the hardest laughs I can remember from the first 5 minutes of it. I remember watching it with my dad, and it's just a really dumb, fun movie. Top tier stoner movie right up there with like Pineapple Express and Half Baked.
Jesse has said to me that I will either love it or hate it.
Loathe it.
Loathe it.
You might be on the fence. You'll love it, and if you don't like it, you're gonna really not like it.
Okay. We also may have a guest.
Yeah, we may have a special guest.
Special guest. You'll have to listen and see.
Hell yeah. Wow, that's the whole thing.
We did it.
Wow, let me play the music about it.
Why don't you do that, partner?
I thought we were going to go way long because 2 weeks full of shit.
Nah, man, we both have bad memories.
That's true. I have a terrible memory. I don't even remember what we talked about the last hour.
Giddy up, partner.
Oh, yeah. Giddy up. I didn't know Brendan Fraser got touched. Didn't know that. That's fucked up.
You've been listening to Two Idiots Talking Over Stuff, produced by Jesse Stillwell.
Everything's by me. The new Spinny game where on the website, that's by me. I programmed that from scratch.
Jesse programmed my cowboy voice.
Yeah, I did that too.
That came out of his mouth.
Sure did. Everything on this show is me.
Yeah.
Me.
Including me.
Me. Bye.